Steph Curry will miss at least 3 weeks after suffering a grade 2 MCL sprain in his left knee. Remember, Curry had just returned from a sprained ankle that cost him 6 games when JaVale McGee fell into him during the Dubs' win over Atlanta last night. Meanwhile, the Celtics announced the same timeline for Kyrie Irving's return after he underwent surgery today on his left knee. The procedure was to remove a tension wire originally inserted when Irving injured his kneecap in the 2015 finals. The timing of this couldn't be more interesting. They'll both be reevaluated in 3 weeks, their respective teams say, which is the first day of the postseason. So, I mean, it's a broad timeline, 3 to 6 weeks, but how concerned would you be about each player?
Well, I'd be more concerned if I was Boston, just because I think Kyrie Irving means much more to their team. I think Steph Curry, they can get by because they have some other weapons. But if I'm Boston, I'm really worried about Kyrie, especially with his knee.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And Steph, a couple of years ago, remember, had a similar type of injury. Missed the first couple of games of their first-round series with Portland. Came back, had the big game. But really, the rest of the playoffs was not himself.
Right.
So my guess is they're going to be more conservative this time around, make sure that he's 100% or as close as he can get to 100% before they pull the trigger on bringing him back, because he was not a difference maker in the finals, and you need him to be a difference maker.
Well, they're not going to catch Houston.
Right.
No.
And they're not going to fall back, to the third spot. So they're locked in that 2 spot. So as you just said, why wouldn't you just rehab him, get him ready? If you need in the last game to get him out in the court for a couple of minutes to make him, get back on there and feel the feeling of playing once again, that would be it. Now, I'm assuming, in my head, tension wire in Kyrie's knee. Is it kind of like a telephone pole?
I had no idea. I had never heard of that
support wires? Is that what a tension wire is? Because I had never heard of a tension wire.
It's a new one to me.
It sounds like it was support that was put in there when they did the surgery.
Correct.
When the kneecap was
the
injured.
kneecap together.
Yes, and the kneecap is healed according to the team, and so it's no longer needed in there, but it was apparently causing the irritation.
If you had made me aware earlier, I would have had a diagram for you of a tension wire on the knee. But
I like to see that. I like to see that telestrated tonight. But in terms of the timeline, let's talk about Boston in terms of the timeline. Kind of the same deal in that they're locked into 2, but at least to me, it certainly seems like they'll need him a lot more than the Warriors would need Steph Curry for the first round.
I would agree with you. And, Kyrie has had the ability to bounce back from these injuries, and it's not like he doesn't, he's going to gain a lot of weight and come back and not.
Right.
I mean, this guy's a magician with the ball. He's a shot maker. He's a major scorer, and he loves to play the game of basketball. So I would err on the side of precaution with him as well. Let's see how things wind up at the end. Who's going to be in that 7th spot in the Eastern Conference?
Exactly.
That might help my decision.
Yeah.
Well, and a season that began with so much promise. The Celtics were so good. The first half of the season is just kind of unraveling here at the end.
Well, that's what, you Coach, you were an executive. What's the one thing you want for the playoffs? You want your team healthy. That's all you care about.
Healthy and playing well.
Yeah, if I can get my group to the starting line for the playoffs, I'll take my chances, right? So they're not healthy.
Matt, early in the year, these things all fell in place for Boston. They had this new group that they put together. They bring in Kyrie Irving. He's playing great for them. They took 2 youngsters, Jaylen Brown in his 2nd year, and then Tatum in his rookie season. Insert them into the starting lineup. And we talked about way back when, will they eventually hit the wall at that 50, 55 game mark? And they were injury-free. Well, those changed. Yes, they did hit the wall. They weren't as sharp and fresh as they were in the beginning. And the injuries kept mounting up. And perhaps the heart and soul of this team might be a guy named Marcus Smart.
Exactly.
Because as he goes, that defense goes, and they dig in, and they've got that toughness about them. He's so key to them.
And they may not get him back for the playoffs. They just don't really know.
So if you're Indiana's 6, or Indiana's 5, Washington 6, Miami 7.
Miami 7, yeah.
You might want to be 7 going into that first round.
Take your chances. Yeah.
Exactly.
The problem with them is they can't juggle.
Right.
They can't lose a game or 2 and
because they could be out.
We'll rest them players.
Right.
Yeah.